What do you say? We do some HLC. Let's go. And we're starting off interesting. We're not starting off with this normal opening. We're starting out. This is literally at 0 time. We're starting off with buff. So this could be interesting. Let's fucking go.
Hey guys, Grandpa Buff here. Now things may sound a little different in this video because HLC is a little under the weather. Feels like he gave a blowy to a cactus, if you get what I'm saying.
Oh my God!
You know, the world should really just chill out, cause honestly, it's just taking a toll on HLC's health.
Buff, I'm fine.
Look at him. He's being so strong even though he knows this is killing him.
I mean, I have a little bit of a cold, but other than that, I'm fine, Buff. I swear I'm good.
No. Give HLC all of your donos and your super chats and give HLC all of your money. He needs it. He's on his deathbed. He needs to leave something behind for his family. I mean, love you, HLC.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the weight gain since you've retired. I mean, look at this fucker's so fat. God damn, his cholesterol's 4 digits or something like that. Blood type is ragu, rich and meaty. He has to take selfies from fucking lower Earth orbit.
You seriously made everybody concerned just so you could squeeze in a fat joke?
Yes.
3 of them to be specific. All right, let's see what's going on in the news. Iran sucks. Russia sucks. China sucks. America's awesome, but we also suck sometimes because we're hiding out just chomos and pedos up in Washington, although we're kind of dealing something with that. Australia's arresting a war hero. The United Kingdom...
What?
The United Kingdom what?
You know what? You're too easy. At this point, I just feel bad for you. I think I'll stop the jokes.
We
no,
just wanted unredacted Epstein files. But instead, we go to war with 2 different countries. Well, one of them just kind of yoinked a president, and the second one, they don't even know how to fight a war. They don't know what a border is. Most of them don't even know how to use toilet paper. At this point, we're just picking on people in the Middle East. But there is good news.
Ow! Are you restocked on Ozempic?
Hilarious.
For God's sake.
Buff.
Honestly, me talking shit about your weight is actually a solution because you're making fun of yourself, which makes everyone realize that you're self-aware. Well, either that or you're going to have a real interesting suicide note. Everyone, I offed myself because an imaginary plane in my head kept calling me fat.
Shut up! There's literally people that have probably done that to a degree. Where the imaginary... For God's sake, we've had people do that just because an AI anime waifu told them to do it. Shut the fuck up!
Legendary suicide note, Bull.
No, what I meant was this is good news. It's actually political news, and it's good news for all Americans. So some conservative people, they called out Eric Swalwell, who's a
he's
city
talking about
house
this
member, and alleges of sexual assault and things like that. And it's a whole messy situation. But because the Republicans brought it up, the Democrats want to oust Tony Gonzalez. So the 2-party system is literally eating itself, and the people who are benefiting are actually Americans.
By the way, I have some breaking news that I was informed about. Actually, hang on. I'm gonna pull this up. I was just handed this news. Tony Gonzalez just tweeted out a couple hours ago, "There is a season for everything, and God has a plan for us all. When Congress returns tomorrow, I will file my retirement from office. It has been my privilege to serve the great people of Texas." Now, he didn't retire. He quit and ran away. He is Congressman Runaway. When all the children pass by his house and laugh, they go, "Look, that's the home of former Congressman Runaway." And for those of you that get that reference, bravo. So yeah, Tony just fucking quit and ran away. Yep.
This is like the best case scenario. I feel like that's a bit of a reaching victory.
Can it, Toast Beaner? Your parliament's equally bad, if not worse.
Thank God,
what
yes.
I'm saying
is,
yes, it's good, but wouldn't it have been good for these people not to be in power in the first place? I had a sergeant
Again, stains on falafel. Look in the fucking mirror when you say that. You want to say, wouldn't it have been good for these people not to be in power in the first place? Look in the goddamn mirror.
Would it have been good for these people not to be in power in the first place? I had a sergeant major back when I was in 122 infantry, and he had a philosophy that turds float. You know, you toss everybody in, and one of them floats to the surface, you can deal with it. So sometimes you got to toss people in and wait for it to float to the surface.
I'm not gonna lie, HLC, that entire analogy fucked me up. Are you telling me your sergeant major used to reach in and grab turds?
You know, I never really thought about it that way.
And
Thank you,
now he
Sergeant
is.
Major Edwards, for telling me more than I ever wanted to know about you.
What was the dude doing on his weekend? Reaching in, grabbing him, putting him on a stringer, and showing his friends, like, look at the size of this one. That one was a bag slapper. Isn't that right, HLC?
No, not you two. That is not going in this video. That was a kind of consensual podcast thing. But yes, anyways, the two-party system is eating itself, and right now, the people are winning. So, America, about my uranium enrichment. No, never in a million years. So how about opening the strait? No, not unless they pay the toll to Iran.
Fine then, Obama Salami. Let's go ahead and make this simple, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and blockade the entire strait, and no one is going through. Plus, if anyone pays that toll to you, which is extortion, by the way, probably, I will stop their ships and seize them.
Look, I'm not very well versed in maritime law. I mean, we're America. We can kind of do whatever we want, but I agree that it's extortion. I totally agree. And that money goes straight to a terroristic regime.
Yeah, I know where HLC is going on this. Like, yeah, what Iran is doing is extortion. 100%, fully agree. But what Trump is doing by saying he's going to blockade the strait and seize any vehicles, that's kind of piracy. Yeah, it's like same but different. And it's just like blocking an already blocked strait is fine. Well, it's like technically it's not blocked right now. It's like the Iran saying pay a toll, but it's can we even do that? I'm guessing that the answer to can we even do that is we fucking did because America. It's not a great response. To basically say, okay, so if any, you're basically.
Trump is going to be the king of the pirates. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not something to cheer though. Okay, like if I'm understanding the logistics of this, he's saying that if any ships pay the toll to Iran because Iran is trying to force them to pay the toll, then Trump is then going to seize those ships for just trying to get through because Iran is like you're basically putting every other country between a rock and a hard place. And it's not going to be endearing other countries to the US, where they basically have the option of, okay, either we defy Iran and potentially have Iran like drop explosive drones on our vessels and potentially sink or kill them. But if we pay Iran to try and get safe passage, then the US is going to seize our ships and we lose our ships anyway. It's you're putting these people between a rock and a hard place. And it's effectively speaking making America look just as much of a bully as Iran is. Like, yeah, the logic is if they pay, they are supporting Iran. I realize that. Like, again, I'm not saying like, oh yeah, Iran should get paid. They should pay the toll to Iran. I'm not saying that by any stretch of the imagination. It's okay. Difference is we want to explode them. No, but instead we seize their ships. It's what measures would I what methods would I oppose to ensure there are consequences for violating the blockade without thorough procedure? If the U.S. was really serious about, not paying Iran, the U.S. would counter Iran saying you have to pay a toll. If the U.S. wanted to basically do if they wanted to look like the good guys in this, if they wanted to maintain good guy status, is instead of saying if you pay the toll, we seize your ships, it's we will protect any ships that want to pass through the strait. And if Iran tries to attack them, we will basically annihilate them. That might have been, now granted, I am not anywhere even in the same realm of being any kind of a geopolitical expert. I am not by any stretch of the imagination a military tactician. Okay, this is me speaking as effectively a layman, looking at this situation from a very wide angle. All right, so take that with a huge grain of salt. All right, I'm just I do not profess myself to be anywhere even close to an expert in this kind of scenario. My thought process is Iran says you pay a toll to get through. If you don't pay a toll, we're going to explode you. What would be the good guy response? Why the U.S. and not the asshole response is cool. You don't pay. We will ensure your safe passage. And if Iran tries to explode you because you refuse to pay a toll, then we will defend you. That's it. That's what I think would be the better response. It makes the U.S. look like the good guys. Why? I mean, really, does America want to open the strait? They would with no issue, but the people who complain is terrorism for forcefully opening it. Yeah, we are this again. That's why I said I'm not an expert on this. I'm just looking at it from a very broad scope point of view as a layman. But there's no easy, I can point to and go, yeah, that's what we should do. Because realistically, this is dragged on now for too long. This is the problem we have with Iran is it is now dragged on too long, and we are now getting into worsening scenarios where brute force is not going to work. And part of the problem is the brute force that was used was perhaps not enough in the intro. There was all the claims that there was the claim about, okay, we've annihilated their navy, we've taken out their air force, we own the skies, blah blah blah. There's all that boasting. Okay, cool. So if that's the case, then why is this still dragging on? Why is Iran able to actually make these statements of you need to pay for passage through the strait, or we're going to explode you? Well, I thought that the U.S. had taken care of all of their means to facilitate this. Do you see what I'm talking about here? All of this is dragged on for too long. Apparently, the threat to Iran is still there. The mines, they could sweep the mines. The U.S. has got ships that can clear the mines. Why haven't they? Had they started doing that? I have no idea if they've started doing that or not. But if it's just the mines, then why would Iran even need to make that? They pay us $1 million. They've set the mines out, so it's not like they can remotely turn them the fuck off or anything. But you see what I'm talking about here. This is going on. This is getting really fucking complicated when supposedly it wasn't going to, and now I think even some of the people that were cheering this on are starting to get tired. And that it's starting, I think some people are starting to feel like, okay, this is continuing on and this is starting to go the route that we don't want it to go to. And it's starting to become unpopular in that respect, where it's dragged on. We can see it starting to pivot in the direction of the last major conflict that the U.S. was in that nobody wanted to be in. Is it going to go that route? No, I'm not saying it is. Okay, bear in mind, I'm not saying it is going to go the route of GWAT. I'm not, because I don't know. But I can see where people are starting to look at it and go, this is starting to become exactly what we didn't want it to become. And, not like being like anti-America, like a lot of these fucktards we've seen in the US. But it's just like, the one thing that they don't want is an extended, drawn-out conflict. And they're seeing the beginnings of it, possibly. And that's why they're going, I don't know about this. And that's all that I'm saying. We'll see what comes of it. I mean, we could, they did the ceasefire, which supposedly Iran is already broken, and blah, blah, blah. Again, this is turning into a shit show, which is exactly what American people did not want. They didn't want it to turn into a shit show. And I think some people are starting to get upset because of that reason.
But are we able to do that? I mean, it's the ocean. Who's gonna stop us? The ocean touches our boats. Our boats are our property. Therefore, the ocean is also our property. I think that totally
Sure,
checks
100.
out.
Just
NATO
to give
has like
some context
15
for the mines thing,
supercarriers.
I believe the
11 of them
statement
are
was that
ours.
paying the toll to Iran
True.
would include Iran telling ships
Well-
where to go to avoid mines. Whether
Well, yeah, I mean, that's like paying the toll in Iran would tell them where to go to avoid the mines. Here's the problem with that is it would be very easy to map out. Like I imagine the U.S. could probably map out the entire sea mine field instantaneously through satellite imaging, and then they could just send that to all of the ships that are looking to traverse the strait. If the mines were the only issue, the U.S. could have easily told every single ship that wants to go through there where all the mines are and how to avoid them. Like, easily. That's not even an issue. Like, even if Iran doesn't know where the mines are, the U.S. could easily detect their positioning. Yeah, I realize you have to secure the coast with troops, but that's what I'm saying. This is going in a direction that people didn't want it to go. Or at least it's starting to go in that direction, and that's the problem.
And I'm not necessarily about being the nice guy. I'm about being the guy that the world needs. Like a global Batman.
Flaunts and wastes money, has a lot of cool toys, and has some serious fucking childhood trauma. That checks out 1,000%. If
Yeah,
I
it
wanted
does.
to, my navy could stop you. The
Oh,
Great
for
China
fuck's sake.
has the largest.
Shut the fuck up, Ching Chong. I have so much goddamn pent up frustration. When we go toe to toe, I'm taking you myself. If I wanted commentary from the Timu Navy fleet, I'd fucking ask.
I told you. I fucking told you. The kid is so bricked up, he has a wet dream. He's glassing a fucking country. I fucking told you.
That's so much racism in one statement. Oh my God. The Chinese Navy
Grandpa's so
is very
proud.
capable.
Then don't talk about it. Be about it. Until then, shut your dumb ass up. Man, Panda
Damn.
Express is on my last fucking nerve.
Okay, I have a couple of criticisms, kid. I'm sorry, I have a couple of criticisms. Number one, you should have said the kid missed a golden opportunity to go, if I wanted a lip from you, I'd rip it off my zipper. That's number one. That would have been a base fucking insult right there. Number two, should have finished off with that, you're tap dancing on my last fucking nerve. Okay, I'm sorry, kid, I love you. Missed opportunities for some classic golden insults right there. I'm sorry. I gotta call it as I see it. I do.
Panda Express. All right. Since I'm going to be controlling the strait, I need to know where stuff is. Destroyers. I need 2 of y'all to go through the strait. Be very careful.
We're going through, boss. I am what I am.
You can't be serious. There's sea mines out there, and I still say it's closed. Yeah, you still say it's closed, but we're in a ceasefire right now, so if one of my destroyers happens to hit a sea mine, that would probably constitute violation of the ceasefire, and I'll immediately open fire on you and your guys.
Oh,
I have
interesting
this
thought process.
hot button about my boats. You have a hot button for your boats, we know. And yet, you are sending your boats through a dangerous area, hoping that they get touched. It
Yeah.
is a fucked up America. It is
You
like
act surprised by
your
this.
Bruce Banner, the Incredible Hulk. entering in the UFC as human. Don't punch him. He get mad. You had better hope they don't hit a sea mine, Nidan. Or he could just open the strait. I'll make you a deal. Any boat that you tell me is going into those waters to remove sea mines, I won't touch. Very funny. You destroyed all my boats.
Then you better get a hold of a sporting goods store and go get yourself a kayak and go out there and clean up those fucking sea mines, Aladdin.
Wait, America, so let me get this straight. Iran closes the Strait of Hormuz, and then, agreeably, they extort money from companies to try and rebuild their infrastructure, which you and Israel have destroyed. Well, not infrastructure, just the military equipment, mostly.
Exactly. Exactly. And do we not see the problem there? Iran is not trying to rebuild their infrastructure. They're trying to build up their armament to facilitate an attack against, well, let's face it, basically anybody. That's the whole purpose of them putting a toll, is so they can rebuild their weapons platforms and actually start attacking again. And as we've seen, they literally just flail the fuck around attacking anyone that happens to get in the way of their armament. Yeah, I wouldn't want them to do that either.
Oopsie daisies, but it's war. Am I getting that part correct? Yes, and it's a shitty situation because they only had to attack like 1 or 2 boats, and everyone else just stopped. So yeah, they shut down the strait and started extorting money from people, which I have a problem with. So your solution is to seize it from them, which I agree with, and anyone who pays that toll will be stopped by you. Yeah. How does that make you any better?
Indoor plumbing, ICBMs, space program, proper actual stealth fifth-gen
Oh,
fighters.
for God's sake, Boff.
Leading medical technologies, clean water, household income, economy. I mean, there's all sorts of things. Are you looking for something specific?
This is the global equivalent of saying, look at all this good shit I do so you can ignore the bad shit. Who do you think we learned it from? All those war crimes weren't on the Geneva checklist when we did them, okay? I am innocent here. Speaking of war crimes, and I'm covering this because I had some Australian followers reach out to me, and this is being almost not mentioned in the United States because of everything else going on. Australia? Yeah, so then I punched that kangaroo in the face. Told him, you never get near one of my dogs again, mate. What you want? I was looking for a good quip, and I've actually seen Australians punch kangaroos, so that's what I went with. The only reason we don't punch kangaroos here is because they don't live here. I believe you.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I shouldn't, but I do. Okay, Australia, so you arrested a war hero for war crimes? No, yeah, mate. He's an SAS guy. He even has the Victoria Cross. His name's Ben Robert Smith. He's been charged with 5 war crime murder. Apparently for things he did 2009 to 2012. It was a big lawsuit against a bunch of news agencies, and when that got settled, we had reasonable suspicion that some of the things they said were true. So we looked into him, and now he's been charged. Has he tried saying sorry? No, these ones were on the Geneva list, supposedly. But what the 5? For what did he allegedly do? Well, apparently when he was in Afghanistan, there was some unarmed individuals who were no threat during that time, and they killed him. That's what they allege, anyways.
Damn, at least from 30,000 feet, I get plausible deniability. Sometimes I close my eyes when I drop bombs.
I'll be honest with you. I'm trying to understand as much about this situation as I possibly can, and it's easy to look at it at surface level and say, hey, yeah, it's wrong. He...
Okay, but where's the evidence that he supposedly killed 5 unarmed people in Afghanistan? Like, that's all I'm hearing is, like, where... Oh, wait, hang on. From what I understand, the accusation of war crimes only came out after the Australian government put up billboards in Afghanistan advertising money for anyone who can make an accusation against an Australian soldier. Really? Really?
Unfortunately, I can confirm this is going on. UK government is going after UK veterans too over things they were ordered to do.
With the UK, that doesn't surprise me. that does not surprise me that the UK would be doing that to their own people, because the UK is a self-defeating country at this point, and let's face it, they're trying to become, when the UK is too much of a Muslim jihadist country that even Qatar is saying we're not sending our people there, you done fucked up. If his SAS are most of his engagements classified, so how would we know? Excellent question. Yeah, that's why, there are a lot of questions that I have here about this. If he's SAS, if his mission was classified, how did this even come to be? Where are the witness statements? Where's the evidence? And HLC may not have that. Bearing in mind, there have been accusations against I think there have been, accusations against just about every Western military that was involved in the Afghani conflict, claiming war crimes. And, because, it's, why not? It's the Afghani people, they hate America, or at least some of them hate America, and so, of course, they're going to accuse them of war crimes. Is there, if there is evidence, if there is, good evidence to substantiate it, that's one thing, but so far, all I'm hearing is he was accused of it, and I have heard nothing about evidence, so I think this might have to be a thing that plays out. The whole thing about Australia putting up billboards saying, hey, if a war crime is committed, if one of our people committed a war crime, come forward. I'm not entirely sure how much I believe that. Realistically, I do not know how much I believe that. But we'll see. We'll see as things progress.
He killed unarmed people. However, it's usually never that clear, especially in war.
It's...
Oh, shit. You're supposed to pick Canada, mate. Yeah, that one might have been one I added to the list there, bud. Sorry. Of course, the imperial Western world were just killing random civilians here in Afghanistan.
I said I had my eyes closed.
Buff, stop it. In Afghanistan, hold on. How many times in the 20 years that I was over there did the Taliban ever wear uniforms? Were the Taliban, during any point of the fighting in Afghanistan, ever identify themselves as combatants so that they could be properly engaged? Or did they just hide amongst the population? I want to say
there it is.
We wouldn't have even been there had you not, asked for help, America.
Oh, for God's sake.
We're always on your team. Are you saying you guys will extradite him to the United States? Because I could always use good shooters. America! He's being charged with war crimes. Yeah, but that's what makes us the good guys. It is because even when we win all the combat engagements, if we don't do it by the rules, we charge our own people. Name an aggressive nation that does that. Yeah, mate. It's a big deal down here. There's veterans turning in their medals. They're like, I didn't want to support an organization that would prosecute somebody for something like this. And to be fair, when we were there, it was very simple for them to be a combatant until they started losing. And then they would just drop their shit on the ground and I'm not a combatant all of a sudden. The Gaza playbook.
Exactly.
I wouldn't say that. Plus, you were way more heavy-handed than I was. It's more just the insurgency playbook.
I just think it's so...
That's where this is so fucked up, is they're charging with war crimes when, again, where's the evidence on this? I may have to try and look into this tomorrow to see what kind of evidence they have to substantiate this, how this even came out in the first place. Because this sounds completely fucked up. And if you have got, Australian servicemen literally turning their medals and say, I'm fucking done with you if you're going to do this to this guy, then something's going on. Something is happening behind the scenes that we're not hearing about that is resulting in this, and it's going to come out. It is absolutely going to come out what is actually happening here. And I don't know. I've got to look into it. I've got to look into this and try and see if I can determine something out of it.
So damn wild, man. We are so good at warfare, right? That we just kicked their ass for 20 years and then they took back over because they all hid in Pakistan like a bunch of, wusses. And then we come back and we're like, you know what? we should punish our guys who may not have followed the rules. God, that's like beating somebody so bad in a fight, you go back home and you're like, I should stab myself in the leg. I feel bad.
Oh, am I getting to finish this episode? Let me see. I gotta follow the Buff standard. So something profound, something based, and then a joke. Profound. War is the culmination of two teams. The winners and the dead. There's no use in trying to make it better. The more awful it is, the sooner it's over. Something based. Brandon Herrera for District 23. And a joke. Russian tactics, equipment, and the looseness of his mother.
I disagree about the looseness. That thing's grippy like the retarded kid on the class hamster.
You shut up your mouth.
And her tongue's not bad either. Guy. Short exit on that one,
Share
too.
100 benefits for veterans is a